Hey guys, welcome to Cody and Davina's Videodrome. I'm Cody.
I'm Davina.
And today we saw The Beguiled.
Oh, what have you done to me? You vengeful bitches!
So The Beguiled, kind of a hard movie title to say right, I feel like, because it's like an antiquated word that I'm not used to using, The Beguiled. It's kind of hard to pronounce it properly. Anyway, good movie though.
It was a good movie.
It's a remake of a Clint Eastwood movie from the 70s, which we haven't seen. We'll just be upfront about that.
We have not seen the original, but this remake has a very, I would say, well-known kind of big-name cast. It's got Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Kristen Dunst, and Elle Fanning. Mm-hmm. And directed by Sofia Coppola. Yeah,
and written. So yeah, it's her screenplay, her direction. She won Best Director at Cannes Film Festival for it, so we were excited to see it.
Just a quick overview of the plot of the story. It's set during the Civil War, and a young girl comes across a wounded Yankee soldier.
Yep.
And she proceeds to, they're in Virginia, and she proceeds to bring him back to...
It's like an all-girls school seminary.
The seminary, Miss Farnsworth's seminary, where they make the decision if they should let him live as the enemy and tend to his wounds, or what they should do with him. Yep,
and then it just kind of spirals from there as you think, as you know that something like that would. So the trailers for this movie kind of made it seem a little different than what it actually turns out to be, I think. Like, I mean, hashtag vengeful bitches was a Twitter hashtag that this movie used in its advertising and on Instagram. So I felt like that was a little misleading slightly because of what happens in the movie. I don't want to spoil anything.
There was vengeance, but it wasn't maybe as angry as
it wasn't like full
on bitch to be.
Exactly. It wasn't like full on misery or something, you know. It didn't go there. I felt like it was like kind of natural, like when you got a secluded bunch of young women and you throw a man into the mix, like in Civil War era. Yeah, it just kind of goes into that weird zone.
Well, I really liked Nicole Kidman's character.
Totally, yeah.
She plays Miss Farnsworth, who's Miss Martha.
Yeah.
She's the head of the school. You're in her father's house that was left to her. It's this big, beautiful manor.
Yeah.
And she's very much a stern, but very well finished Southern lady.
Yeah.
And so her goal for this school is to craft more fine Southern ladies.
Well, and her goal in the movie, I think, is to just be she's protecting all these girls and trying to make sure that this man that they're letting in isn't like that's not going to become a big mistake. And of course, it kind of does.
The reason that the school is still there is because these last 5 girls that were there had nowhere else to go. Their families were either wanted them to stay there because of the advancements of the war, or they lost family to the war.
And then I liked Kristen Dunst's character a lot. I mean, I like her a lot as an actress. I liked her character. I felt like her character out of like the 3 main female characters, hers may have been the most interesting, but also the least drawn. She's left a lot of her backstory and her motivations throughout the movie are left a little bit of a mystery, which
we're given
that's interesting.
Bits and pieces, but I felt really conflicted on where her motivations came from because of the lack of information in her backstory. And I didn't feel that, for me, her character was not the most interesting. It was probably Nicole Kidman's character for me that was the most interesting. Yeah. And they did flesh out Colin Farrell's character.
Yeah.
He
did great
freshly immigrated to America and ended up becoming, they called him a mercenary. He took money to fight in the Civil War. So
yeah, and his character was interesting and well done, and I think that all the actors were really good. All the characters were at least interesting and you cared about what was going on with them. They all had like little things that, that kind of set them apart. So that was cool. And by the time the movie kind of takes its turn into, Crazy Town,
Right.
you at least care about what's going on. You care about the characters. And it's one of those. It's a very Southern Gothic sort of feel to the whole movie. It's kind of fun how the tension plays.
Yes.
It's like when you're watching little things like little smiles and little gestures and stuff, and you can tell that the girls are just kind of enamored with this man being in their presence and everything.
Right. Yeah. It is really fun to see these like preteen and teenage girls that are...
And then the women, of course,
right,
too.
and the women that are trying to, like, teach them manners and keep them in line, and they're just all giggly, and there's a man in the house. It's funny. Yeah. It's a good...
probably, like, one of the best scenes in the movie, and again, not spoiling it, but one of the best scenes in the movie is the first dinner scene they have with him eating at the table with them. And they all dress up in their nicest Southern lady, fancy,
With ribbons and bows in their hair.
And they're all giddy and giggling, and it's one of those scenes that's like, you can just feel... Like, I mean, if you're like the man watching the movie, you're Colin Farrell, you're seeing him, and you're just like, oh yeah, this dude, he's not making it out of here without problems. Big problems. Because all of them want his attention, and you know that it's not going to go well.
Well, and I enjoyed the cinematography and the settings, the little part of Virginia that they drop you in.
Yeah,
they've built there.
Yeah, the house is really kind of... It's almost its own character a little bit, the way they shoot it. It's got these nice big trees.
Well, I was going to say the trees. I absolutely loved the gigantic trees and the Spanish moss. And they really do give you kind of an idea of these women have this house and they're trying to maintain this standard of living that they've had, but
the war is encroaching on that. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, totally.
And they're dealing with their day-to-day problems of tending their garden, which was dying. And another thing that I really, really enjoyed were the costumes. The women, the girls, they all had these beautiful dresses that, are period appropriate.
Yeah, they were really nice. And especially like in the dinner scene I mentioned, when they're all dressed up, their like evening gowns are very nice, very prim and proper Southern gowns. I don't know what else to say.
They're Southern ladies.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Southern belles, I do declare.
She's been fighting the urge to use that this whole time. Anyway, so overall, we both really liked the movie. It was really good. I don't know that it's going to be for everyone. I definitely think because of the advertising, some people may go in expecting a different kind of movie, but it's still a really fun movie. In terms of the tension and very good acting throughout. It's a very well written movie. So yeah, I'd totally recommend it. I'd give it a good recommendation for sure.
I do declare, if you enjoy vengeful bitches, go check out this movie.
Definitely.
It's a fun movie to watch.
Yep, it's good. It's definitely worth a watch. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next time.